2A red class. This is Monday, January the 9th. Even though I still want to interrupt and do some. This picture was pointing down. I don't know exactly where it goes. So for those who are watching this video, this is an exact thing. I know we put in numbers here. Did I have you put 0 in the middle on this one? Yeah, I did kind of put a 0. Whenever it's a parabola, that is whenever it's raised to a power of 2, and you're creating a table, the recommendation is to do partners, that is 1, -1, 2, -2, because normally it's going to be a U, and a parabola is symmetrical. In other words, if you slice it right down the middle, it'll match. But what's the important thing I want to say? That minus sign always makes it point down or open down, and that open down thing is the version they like to use most when they are trying to create an equation for a real life problem. In other words, let's say they'll kick a football and the trajectory is going to go down. Or someone threw a ball. It's all about throwing, and so as a result, the pitcher needs to go up and down. I think they're going to try to squeeze one in where it's like a skate park, and the skate park, of course, opens down. And in that case, you won't have that negative sign up front. But the important part I just want to say there is that this negative thing, they use that more than they use the positive thing, because there are more situations where something is being going into the air and then coming down. So what page is for page 6? We typed in the equation. It's on your calculator. The y equals this guy here. Right now he's darkened, so that we can get the table for the next one that we're going to do. And we're not going to do a lot of punching in today. We're actually going to be looking more at pictures that are boom already there for you. And then we're going to look at the domain going from left to right. We'll look at the range going from top to bottom. The x and y intercepts are going to be there. We're just going to find them on there. Because if you looked at your test, which I know you turned in, that little list of things is what they're going to ask you for. So there's no way to get around it. There are 5 big ones. 3 of them you already know. We did the x and y intercepts last time. We're going to remind you of it today, and we'll go from there. So let me see. Unhighlight the equal sign. How do we do that? We're going to take our cursor, go over the equal sign, click, 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 click. We're going to hit the button Enter. Hit the button Enter. And then we're going to, with the arrow, move off of that equal sign to see is that equal sign no longer highlighted. Now again, once you do it, I need you to show someone next to you. Table with 3 is going to ask you, Alvaro, to help out so that the people on either side you can see. Same thing, Kathy and then Alexis, so that the person on either side. In other words, you need to show it to someone else that it's done. And the middle person, you're going to be that person who kind of looks back and forth. So to do that, once your equal sign is unhighlighted, the next one I want us to go to, it's a short one, but it's the first one that's now going to start asking for some of these extra words, and that's going to be, I may come back and may write some of these in. What page do I want to go to? There he is. I cut out some pages from the original. Go to this one. He's a shorter equation. But go ahead and punch this guy in on the row number 2. Punch this guy in on row number 2. What page is he? I feel like he's the next page in line. 13, go to page 13. I skipped some pages, go to page 13. This is page 13. This is where people miss class. We're making a video. The other video, I never have it uploaded to YouTube yet and sent it out. But make this middle one the 0. Now, again, the x's, what's the word that we use for the x's? Anybody know it starts with the letter D? Domain, I just want you to get used to that because they're going to be asking for the domain. The domain. Come on. Again, if ever there is a square in there, it's going to be a parabola. Parabola is a rainbow, or the letter U. It's symmetrical. That you can slice it right in half, and then it'll go up or down. Usually, it goes up and down around that 0, which is why you put 0, then the partners, 1, -1, 2, -2, and so on. So try to catch that one. The side, now you won't always have the table for the purposes of what we're about to start expanding to, which is the x and the y intercepts. But for the table purposes, and I know my table, I don't know what's going to be there. Let's see what happens. Someone, once you answer, if you answer one, don't answer the second one. Tell me what the partner to the 2. All right, someone different, partner to 1. Partner to the 0. Someone different, -1. Thank you. Someone different, -2. All right. Which 3 are we going to put stars next to? Uh-huh. He gets a star. What was the other one? All right. And one more person? All right. These are the most important ones. Again, on that test thing, it automatically starts telling you something. The page to the right, we're on page 13, page 14, is where we're going to put in some of our answers to begin with. You see that little list on 14? Hopefully it reminds you of something that you just looked at and you highlighted. The x-intercept and the y-intercepts. They always put s on it because it might be 1, it might be more than 1. But in this case, one of them has 2, and one of them only has 1. So let's see what I can say. Someone tell me, for 2, 0, is it an x-intercept or a y-intercept? I hear x and I hear y. All right, for this first one. On this one, it is in fact an x-intercept. Like, how do you know it's an x-intercept? Because again, they give you the number for the x. The 0, the word 0 is always intercept. Now, you never have to say that, which is why it doesn't, you're not used to saying it just whatever, but you just get used to it now. If they give me the x, so on your actual page, I'm actually put x int, because we're going to put the answer over on the other side as well. But on this one, at least put x int. On the other 2 stars, please put down either x int or y int on each one. This is getting you, of the 5 things they're going to ask you, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to get you 2 of them. And just that easy, you already have one of the 2 points that you need to pass standard 1. Unit 1, again, is always generally supposed to be these. They just name stuff, you put it down, test, boom, you got it. So let's keep going with that, because again, I need to actually get to the pictures. Because that domain and range, I hope I do good today on domain and range. Well, let me find out. If you're already good on finding the domain and range when you have a picture, someone gives you a picture like this one. It went down as like a -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my y-intercept. And then there's 2, 0, 2, 0, and there's a 1, -3, a 1, -1, 2, 3. The 0, 4, the -1, -3, and then that 2, -2, 0. By the way, this line here would be called a line of symmetry, the thing that slices it right in half, but that's I'm not going to focus on that because that's coming towards the end. I do want to draw my picture. Please put an arrow on the top of these. These arrows are going to wind up being important with this whole domain and range thing. Oh, man. So I hope I do well. So let's see what we have here so far. We have the 2 x-intercepts, which hopefully you can see on a picture are easy to find. On a picture, and I'm making them extra big just so that it's obvious. Not only am I going to put x int on the picture, again, for anyone who knows this from algebra, geometry, whatever it was introduced to you, I hope you get to feel good like, not like, oh, I've seen this before, but you mean I get to just mark these right on the test and I get a free credit? Yes, you do. And that's one of the benefits of math that some teachers don't stress, and that is, because the thing repeats, you keep getting credits for something you learned a long time ago, whether it's your timetables, whatever. Some people are offended by it. Me, I like to think of it like, it's a free deal. In other words, I'm going to put in this -2, 0. I'm going to put in this 2, 0. And then the y-intercept, I wish I put them in I'll put them in red. Y-intercept is usually more important than the x-intercepts, but now in Algebra 2, the x are starting to become important. The y, that was a, what is the y-intercept or y-coordinate when x is 0? Oh, y-int. All right, let's see if we can do this. Now, today our goal is to do this about maybe 3 times, because they're going to ask this on the test more than once. So that's the the goal. Let's see. We got the y int, x int. Now I put it on the picture, but also I have to put it over here on the answers. What was the y-intercept? I know I just wrote it, but is there a -4? I'm going to do it just one time. It looks like a 4, but it's really y when I'm trying to stress that this is the y-intercept. The x-intercept, let me see if I do it again. One of the x-intercepts I know was a 2. I'll put the -2 first so it goes from left to right. -2 comma 0. I know that's the x when the other guy is 0. And his friend was a 2 comma 0. Again, the x when the other guy is 0. With a parabola, which is what you're going to be working with, parabola is going to be, oh, there's that question. Let's put negative sign, makes it face down. Let's see. How can you determine if a quadratic faces up or down? How can I say it? Negative sign on the x squared term. The sign on the x squared term. The sign on the x squared term. If there's a negative in front of that guy, negative points down, positive points up. Okay, yeah. Negative with a frown is what they say sometimes. All right. This one's gonna be a little tricky. So let's talk about the minima and the maxima. All right. The bottom 3 are the easiest. A minima says, let's do it this way. We'll draw a picture. If you had a negative, this parabola top, the maxima would be that red line, the red point rather. If you have a smile, you put maximum, minimum, you should put maxima, minima. The red dot would be the minima. So basically, hey, what's the lowest point? Or what's the highest point? It's one or the other, it's not both. Whatever the coordinate is of that low point or high point, that is the maximum or the minimum. So out loud, even though I hate the fact that this one's going to repeat. 1, does the picture that we have here have a max or a min? Min, thank you. What is the coordinate of the min? 0, -4. So again, I hope what some of you will feel is, okay, cool, I'll do math if it's straightforward and easy like this in this first unit, except for sometimes when you have to create the equation out of the scenario, the pictures aren't too bad. Oh, now the part that I'm nervous about. The domain and the range. If together they both become kind of confusing, then just get one. Get one right. When you have to fix your test, you only have to fix the other. So the most famous one is the domain. Domain is going from left to right on the picture. I'm going to do it on our ugly picture. Though I wish I'd probably do it on the other one. Here it comes. Hey Thomas, would you please find the domain of this picture? I'm going to give a fake answer, then I'm going to fix it. The domain. To get the domain, you on a broken picture. I'm still going to do it on this broken picture. Fine, I'll do it. All right. There's a picture. You want to put walls from left to right. You want to box that thing in. The range, we're going to box from the bottom to the top. We're going to box it in. But for domain, for anyone who ever had the issue with domain, I wish this thing had a highlighter. Will you let me write with a highlighter? Okay. If you had a highlighter, if you did it with your pencil, I guess it'd be fine. But a highlight is what I want. I'm going to kind of put a wall to kind of say this picture begins going from left to right, right here. Okay. The arrows are going to mess us up in a moment, but at least the beginning part. Anybody can put a wall on the left side. Where does the picture end? If I was moving across on the x-axis, I'm going across. Oh, the picture ends right there. I just did the domain. Now the domain will become tricky for some people, but if you are good with what I just did there, then that's getting the domain. Start on the left of the picture, go as far as you can to the right till the picture ends, boom. The domain, I'm going to do it with numbers, and I'm going to fix it because of these ugly arrows, but let me start with numbers. Can someone tell me what number this is, where this picture starts on the left, on the x-axis? This is the x-axis. What number is this? I know this is -1, -2. Yeah. So -3 is the left side. Oh, I should put it up there. Where should I put it? Where should I put it? Where should I put it? If I put it up there, because that's going to mess up my range. So don't put it up there, because that's going to mess up my range. I'll just put it right there, next door to it. Alright. So -3 is the left side of my domain. The right side of my domain, what is it going to be? Oh, the same thing. 1, 2, and a 3. That's where the picture ends. Going from left to right on the x-axis. The picture begins here, and it slides over to that way. How do we write that domain? On this page, I want to write on this page. There's a lot of stuff where they have a lot of writing space. Right on this page or on the next page. I'm going to put it down near the bottom. I'm going to put it here where you have space. You can put it. So I'm going to put D for domain. Or maybe this whole time I read it, the whole thing, domain. If I'm writing the domain, it starts at 3 on the left and goes to 3 on the right. For those who know how to find domain range, you probably know that I'm writing a wrong answer, but let the other people who need to ease into it feel it. Like, okay, no big deal, left to the right. The other part that's true is you have to put these in either parentheses or brackets. The rule is, if it's a number, you put square guys, brackets. If ever you see the number infinity, not the number infinity, the symbol infinity, it'll be parentheses. So let's just start here. Boom, boom. Hopefully that feels okay. If it's wrong, you'll see why I'm going to have to change it a little bit. But I just want the easy version of it. Alright, let's find the range. The range, I'm going to put the purple guy. The range is start from bottom and go to top. Do the same thing. If you had a highlighter, I would ask you to do the same thing I'm doing. Or you could just watch the first time. The range, I go to the bottom of the picture. What is that low number? What's the low number here? It's -1, -2, -3, -4. There's your -4. There's the bottom of the range. I'm going to go all the way to the top of the picture. Where it stops. Even those are arrows. I'm going to fix that in a moment. But just the easy version. So that when someone here gets confused, at least you knew the easy version was from bottom. You always start from the bottom to the top. Domain, you go from left to the right. The bottom to top ends at what? 1, 2, 3, 4. I really wish they wouldn't do that. Now it's going to seem like some students are going to think, oh, you always just do the same numbers, positive or negative. It just happened to work out this way this time on my picture. Your picture could be different, which is why we're going to go to a page that has a picture that's the same for everybody. Nonetheless, how do you write it? Bottom to top. Start with a -4. Where does it end at the top? 4. The rule with the brackets, either has to be brackets or parentheses. If you see numbers, go ahead and put brackets. Most of the time you'll be right. Some of the time you'll be wrong, like a really small amount of the time. But my thought is like, they can be right most of the time without being confused. Boom. There is your range. Range are on the Y line. If we were to smash this picture until it landed on the Y line, where would it have started and where would it have ended? Okay, the 4 and 4. The domain is, if you could crush this picture onto the X line, where would it be touching the X line? Oh, it started from here and go to there. Pause. Any questions where we got the -3 or the 3? Or the -4 and the 4? Yeah, nice and easy. Left to right, bottom to top. Okay. That's fixed. These answers are broken. Let's fix it. Here comes, let me fix the range part first. It is true that -4 really is the bottom of it. It doesn't go any lower than that. So that -4 is correct. He's good. Here's a guy who's broken. These arrows say that this picture is going to go up and up forever and ever. We just didn't want to draw that all the way up, so we put arrows to say it goes up and up forever and ever. What's the symbol when something goes on and on forever and ever? Yeah, infinity. So here's what this guy really looks like. This is the guy that you need for your test. It's going to be this guy right here. The -4 stays the same. He really is truly that. But that 4 at the top, he actually is supposed to be the symbol infinity. Infinity is not a number. Infinity is a direction. If I go walk in the positive direction forever and ever, that's infinity. Will I reach the end of it? No, I won't. So infinity is a direction. It's not a number. For infinity, you can't use a box. You have to use a parenthesis like that. Hey, what is the range of this particular picture? Officially, you start at the bottom. You do start at -4, and you go up and up forever and ever. It's infinity. Look at it. See if you're confused. See if you're nervous. What if you wrote the -4 and 4 thing on your test? Would you be right? No, you would not. I'd have to mark you wrong, but at least I would know. Oh, at least they know how to do bottom and the top. What I would say to you when it's time to fix it, I said, hey, those arrows are supposed to tell you something. What do they tell you? And then you say, oh, the infinity thing. Got it. There are some pictures where they have dots. There are no arrows, and it stops there, really stops there. Then the 4 and 4 would be it. So I'm going to put a line through. There's the correct answer. Range, bottom to top. Now, domain, both of the 3's are going to disappear. What do you mean both of the 3's? With the domain, these arrows on this picture say that the picture is going out and out forever and ever. Like it's angled out and out forever and ever. So what is true most of the time? The domain. If you had to guess on a test, they give you a parabola, and you're not sure what the domain is going to be. Most of the time, they're going to have arrows going out and out, which means that this 3 here really should be infinity. It's going to go to the left forever and ever. And then this 3 over here, it didn't really stop there that well. It's going to go up that way forever and ever. This is my effort to do domain and range. Domain, put the walls in. Yeah, even if the arrows there, put the walls in so you know where chink, chink. Range, put the bottom floor and the ceiling in. Chink, chink. Domain and range. So let me write down the answer on the other page. My domain is from -infinity to positive infinity. Again, most of the time, the domain is going to be that -infinity to positive infinity. Just means it's going to go out and out forever and ever in both directions, which is why there's the arrows. And then the domain, or rather the range, is going to be, usually if it's a parabola, it starts at the bottom and goes up. And sometimes when they flip it down, that's going to be a tricky way to write it because the infinity will come first. We had a -4 and it went up into the air. Always round for you. If there's a number, you get the square guy. This is a standard one on your test. They're going to ask you for these 5 things. And then they're going to ask you for the name of the shape. Like, what's the picture? In this particular case, the shape is a parabola. Parabola, just so I can spell it right. If you're not confused, you just pass that first standard of your test, and you just pass the 3rd standard. The 3rd standard, they can actually compare 2 shapes and see, do they look alike? Are they different? Does one point up? Does one point down? Why they did it in both standard 1 and standard 3, I'm not sure. All right. So let's see what we have here then. Today we are looking at these 5 key features. So now let's see if we can start this thing off with a clean one. We're going to page 21. Let's see when I get there. Almost there I am. They didn't write in the 5 things next to it. I'm not sure why, so I'm going to have you do it really fast. Right in. But before that, do me a favor, put some arrows at the top. They missed their arrows as well. Yes, I know this one looks almost exactly alike. Page 21. All right, domain, range. We're going to have, let's put some x-intercepts. X ints, Y ints, max or min. Write it in just like I'm doing. I feel the pain too. And the name of this shape. These are the things they're going to ask you. So write those in, write those in. I'm going to ask you to label on your picture the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts. And put in your dots, just like we did on the last one. If you need to look back, flip back to the other page. I wish it was right next door to it. You do that. So we'll do this about 3 or 4 times. Why? This is so a big piece of the test that that is key. It's key. So I'll pause. What is it that I want? The blue is the minimum, and the black dot is the y-intercept. Those hints I will give. All right. Are you doing this alone? You don't have to. Is it hard to see on there? Oh. Oh. Shoot. And you never want to start the first one that you do alone in a confusing way. So here's what I'll do. Let's see. There are 4 tables. Use the board to do it. So let's do table 1. And that way we'll offer to everyone. Table 1, you're going to give us our first x-intercept. Table 2, sure, why not give us the second x-intercept. Table 1, 2, 3. Table 3, give us the y-intercept. Table 3, the y-intercept. And then table 4, you can give us the minimum. Sorry about that, it's really small picture things. First x-intercept, second x-intercept, y, and the other. And again, as we go around, hopefully you start feeling like, okay, this is cool. I'm going to pass this first section for sure. But there'll be more in case you're not just ready. The domain is going to be quite similar to the last one. The range. Let's see what you do with the range. Range is going to be quite similar too. Sorry about the picture. The notes, our teachers, different teachers, we collaborate. They help me fill my bucket. It's just Karen, she's at another center, and so she did that. All right, let's see if we can do this though. All right, here it comes. Hey, table 1. First x-intercept is what, please? All right, negative 2. 3 comma 0. What is the x number when the other guy is y? Negative 3 comma 0. Table 2, what's the other x-intercept? 1 comma 0. The y-intercept, table 3. 0, negative 3. The minimum, table 4. Say it again. 0, 4 is going to be close. They shifted a little bit. Yeah, and that's what I want to be careful. Negative 1, comma negative 4. Yeah, that one, this guy here, that minimum is going to be negative 1, comma negative 4. Now, what's true is because these are going to be, how should I say it? Because you only need to get one of these right, you have to get all the pieces of the one problem right. So they'll give you a picture like this one if you remember looking at your test. So even if you miss one, you have to fix that one so the whole thing isn't broken. Someone out loud, what's the name of the shape? Yeah, parabola. And then now let's mess around with this thing. Can someone out loud say what the domain is going to be? Yeah, it's now this picture looks exactly like his friend, so he's there. If I were doing it, of course, with numbers, not that I would do it with numbers, I could probably do something like you right here. So I could probably go with like a negative 5 or doing numbers. Let's say I don't know that negative anything, and I did you where you're going to end. You're 1, 2, 3, -5, and a 3. So -5 and a 3. If I were doing numbers, just to show it to you, like I don't get that infinity thing, but I can tell the picture starts here and it moves over there, and technically it's on the x-axis that we're concerned about the domain. But again, as long as those arrows are there, you're good to go. All right, someone different. What's the range? Oh, they did it 4 again. Oh, I don't want you to think there's anything special about -4. Infinity gets the rounded guy. He always does. A number gets the square guy. There is another notation for domain and range, and in some school they put the x less than or greater than stuff. I did it before. Show both versions. You can use either one. Usually just wind up confusing students. So I'm going to let another math teacher confuse you when it's time. For now, I'm just going to go with these guys. Where it begins, where it ends.
Can you put all real numbers for domain 2?
You know, not only can you do that, but that one is actually worth saying and doing because they will use that phrase, all real numbers. So let's do that. Whenever the domain or the range is from -infinity to +infinity, another phrase that they will use, and this one's worth knowing, is all real numbers. I guess you don't have to put the quotes. All real numbers. See if you can squeeze it in. That means everybody. All real numbers. Real, because there are such things as imaginary numbers. But at your stage, they could have just said all numbers. You're like, all right, that's cool. Nobody would be like, does that include imaginary numbers? No, you probably wouldn't have done that. But because math people have to be exact, all real numbers. The other way of writing all real numbers that you'll see is a symbol. What is that symbol? It turns out it's not a parallel line, but it's the letter R. But instead of the back of the R being just a single line, it's that double line. So if ever you were to write this down, you mean, hey, all real numbers. You mean it goes from here to here. Now, it looks like it's on the line with range, but it's really just a rewrite there. That one again, sometimes they'll use that, and you just need to have seen that one. Pause. Anybody take a look up here? Any numbers that popped up here, like, hey, where'd you get that? And we didn't do the bottom thing for the range, but if I had done the bottom thing for the range. And again, if on a test you're not sure, if you show me this thing here, I can kind of be like, I don't know what number that would have been, like 9, 6, 7, 8. I can almost kind of give you credit for that kind of thing, just in case. All right, let's do it again. This time, see how much you can do if it's just you. I'm gonna come on, Mark. Next door neighbor. Oh, the range is gonna be weird. I'll just say the range is gonna swap. You also start from the bottom and go up to the top with the range, but good luck on that one. Now I'll see what you put down for the range. But be careful. That's the only place I expect students maybe to get mixed up. All right, go ahead and try. What page is that? If this is 21, go 22. Now there are only a few. Try to put my domain and my range. The range always starts from the bottom, then it goes up. I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Some people in the range. For the domain, I'm going to circle those arrows that remind me of something. The x and y intercepts are going to be a little tricky on this one too. All right, let's see the maxima. Part of me would have wanted you to semi-do it together, not together. I don't know. All right, let's see if we can get this one in. It's going to be, and what's the time? All right, so let's see if I can do something here. Four tables. Sure, why not? First x-intercept, second y-intercept, x-intercept, y-intercept. Let's go with Maxima. And then we know the shape of this is called a what? Parabola. Good, because it will ask for that. All right, here we go. First x-intercept, front table. -4 and 0. And I know by choosing a table, I'm not choosing who's going to say it, so it may wind up being the same person, which again, you want to mix in. Second y-intercept, back table. X-intercept, back table. Felt like I heard two things. But hopefully I heard 0, 0. Now this is going to be weird because that table over there, what is the the y-intercept? So it shows up twice. If we had a table, you would see that there'd be a 0 next to the 4 for that first x-intercept. You would see that there's a 0 next to this 0. Now the idea is like, look, as long as the partner is a 0, whatever the other thing is, you still have to call him an x-intercept, even though he happens to be a 0. And this guy down here, well, when the x is a 0, you still have to call this guy a y-intercept. I don't know how to say it, but that's the tricky version of that. Fortunately, they're going to give you a picture. As long as you see the picture, where it hits the y line, you call it a y-intercept. Where it hits the x line, it's an x-intercept. Even if they hit right there at that special point. Anybody know what the official name of the point is here where they crisscross? So that's the letter O.
Origin.
Yeah. It is called the origin officially. Write that down just so you can have it in there. All right, we got to leave this one in a second. Maxima, table 4, what's Maxima? -2 and an 8, she is correct. Or that table is correct, represented by there. You back up 2, go up 8. And again, their goal for you in Algebra 2 is like if you saw a graph, we'd be able to know the key points, the key places. That way, if they gave you all of these guys here, could you sketch a picture? Could you go backwards, back to the picture? Last piece, I'll do it. Someone say the domain, please. And do they need to write all real numbers? I would take this one. If anyone decided to put the double R at this point, they're like, all right, but do it with the infinity thing. I almost wouldn't want to do it alone just in case. The range, someone, oh yeah, let's just see what they do with the range. Hey, the range. Say it again, I heard someone whispering it. All right, infinity is going to be there. The 8 is going to be there. Parenthesis or a square on the 8. Square. Numbers always with the square. Somebody was about to help me with that infinity. It's missing a little something. Yeah. Square or parenthesis? Take a look at it, see how you feel about it. What some people will do with this one is they'll put that 8 first. But the truth is you start at the bottom and you go up to the top for range. You go from left to right on the domain, bottom to top. Smallest to largest, smallest to largest. Which is why that 8 doesn't get to be there. He's at the top of the list. So basically this thing started all the way down under the ground, kept going up until tink, maxed out at that 8. All right, let's do one more of these. The other version they have. Go to page 25. Page 25. We might see what you can do in 2 minutes on page 25. Let's see if I can get to 25. The numbering, hopefully the numbering isn't off. We'll use some of these others. Yeah. No, 25? Is it 26 that picture's on? Right. It won't be in order. What picture is this thing on? 26? Find this picture here. This picture. Okay. Flip around and see if this is in there. See if only special people have this one, or did I give everybody? I know. Yeah, it's gonna be broken. It's gonna be broken. I started seeing on some of them. Um, you know what? I'm gonna skip that one for now and see if he's important. Well, I remember to do him next time. Let's skip him for now so I can squeeze in one of the versions on part two. In other words, standard one, part one. The guys we just done are cool. This guy's gonna be his friend. You're gonna put in the same thing. It's just gonna be well, let's do this. What's the name of this shape? He's half of something. Yeah, he's half of a parabola, which is a weird thing because generally you don't give a name of a shape like that. Exponential could be another version of it, but for now, half of a parabola is kind of the name to go with it. But I'm going to skip to 31. Find 31. Find 31, then we'll include this one next time as a kind of like a reminder, a test-like thing. 31. Let's see if we can find 31. This was 26. We're going to 31. Let's see. What should be on 31 should be a little bit of a word problem. Is it the one with the two? I believe so. Let's see if I can find mine. There it is. There it is. All right. So here's how it goes. They still all on this domain range stuff, but we don't have a picture. We get a picture. We get a picture. Then we can do like, oh, left to right domain, bottom to top range. Oh, where's the intercept? Tick, tick, tick. We're good to go. This one here, you might be a little bit much to build. Should I do these partners so they can use the calculators? I think on the test we'll do that. Sure, we'll go with this partner over here. Is it you? Is it you? Do I want you? Skate park, skate park. No, I want this other guy who... Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I wrote it down, so let me see what I wrote down. 3130, what's 4243? Let me see what's 4243. That's going to take a little bit to build that one. 4243, where are you? 4243. 42, 43. Now they're doing something that I don't want. Fine, go back to 31. We'll build as much of it as we can. We'll build as much of it as we can. We're not going to be able to finish building this one. So here's the deal. When you're given a word problem, try and get a picture. Remember, if we just type in the equation and hit blue button table, we get the table. Once we got the table, we can just kind of put in some of the points, then we get kind of a picture of it. Well, what we need is some kind of like a table that we can build from this. And here's how we're going to build a table. I don't have space where they're going to write theirs. They have space maybe below it. I'm going to put mine here. But it goes like this. For building a table, I'm going to try and use the information they give me to try and build it, and you see kind of what I mean. I'm going to put mine here because I don't have a space, and maybe I'll have to erase it. But here it comes. Hey, John is opening a boxing gym, charging a $15 joining fee and a $10 a month, and $10 a month. How am I going to build a table from this? Well, maybe at the end, let's find it. At the end of the first month, can anybody tell me maybe how much money I had to give to this gym end of the first month? I heard it 25, and let me lower this a little bit. Here, they said 25 because at the end of the first month, well, you know you got to give them that $15. You got to get off that 15. Then at the end of the first month, let's say you went out and worked out there, then you added another 10 to that. So now you're at the 25. At the end of month 2, you got to give them another $10 in addition to the 25 you just gave them. So at the end of month 2, how much are you giving them? At 35. Let's do this to 35 without saying it out loud. See if you can get in 2 more months on your own. 2 more months on your own. Actually, maybe let's see if we can get all the way to month 5. This is kind of how you build a table with the scenario. You figure out what would happen at the end of the first month, or the end of the first whatever, then maybe the second whatever, and then you kind of start seeing like a little bit of a pattern. Here we go. So month 3, someone different. How much is it going to be? 45. End of month 4, please. All right. And then after that, you barely even need to know the pattern. Okay. So this gets us some of what we need. With these real life scenarios, there's always, yeah, that's what happened at the end of month 1. But at the very beginning, how do we say at the very beginning of math? We say 0. 0 time has passed. Not at the end of the first month, like at the very beginning. What do we have to give them at the very beginning? Yeah, we have to give them the $15 to get things started. You can't even have it a month 1 and month 2. And there is your table. What we'll do really fast, and then I'll see. Yeah, and then we'll try and begin with this one next time. Let's put in those points on the graph, because once we have a graph, then we can do the other stuff. We won't do the other stuff. Just go ahead and put in your points. Because it's a real life scenario, like on the other one we had negative numbers. Usually for your domain, the negative numbers are going to disappear. So what does he want us to do right now? He just wants us to try to graph this one. We'll take about just 2 minutes just to try and graph it. Like, how are we going to know where to put in the numbers? It's 15. So I'll start it off myself. Let me make these 5 to 15, 20 the range. You'll see what I mean in a second. So these regular numbers here, we got our 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You made it right now to the end. I just want to get in these numbers as soon as we get in these dots. For these here, should it be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, no, you got to scale it. You got to scale that thing right. So scale that thing with, 5, 10, 15, 20s. The 5, 10, 15, 20? 10, 20, 30, 40? All right, well, let's just do 5, 10, 15, 20, and we'll just get 3 of them on there. If you did a different scale than 5, 10, 15, 20, dang. It gets up to 50? All right, let's get up to 50, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. Yeah. All right, yeah, you did 5 scales? All right, so let's put in, I guess, about 3 or 4. We're not going to get up to 55, 60, but we don't kind of need to. We'll draw an arrow. I'm going to put in those dots, and then I'm going to thank you. Where are we here? Where are your dots? 15, 25, 35. Next time when you come through, I'm going to tell you, not only you only need 3, but you put an arrow on that line. It's going to go up and up forever and ever when we need to get our domain and range. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for coming to your class. In the range, you guys deserve a hats off and all that kind of stuff. Next time we'll keep building on this thing. Friday, I want us to get a piece